What's up, everybody? It's CJ, and I'm back with another Barnacle Bay renovation, or I feel like this is maybe a de-renovation. I don't even know if that's a word. I don't know if I could really say this is a renovation. It is, I guess, an improvement, but I guess we'll talk about it. So today I'm going to be furnishing the Founders Beach. So like I said a while ago, there's a lot of different beaches in Barnacle Bay. Like you have the main beach, that's like to me the touristy spot, the one with like the pirate ship, and then there's like the one that's like right beside it with a big building and stuff. And then you have like a lot of smaller beaches on the outskirts. So the last one that we did was the Smuggler's Beach. And now for that one was more like kind of run down, but it was more so like a local kind of spot where like it's not like the tourist hotspot in the town. You kind of have to know about it to kind of go to it, you know? But this beach, on the other hand, the Founders Beach, is almost completely abandoned pretty much. So it's one of those things where like I feel like this beach used to maybe be a tourist spot years and years and years ago, but now it's kind of just abandoned. The town doesn't really recognize it as a beach anymore. You're not really supposed to come here ever. And if anything, there's like some Sims that just live here. Like they just kind of just camp out here and just never left, you know? So you saw that I started by putting down some dirt terrain paint. I've been trying to get better about using terrain paint, y'all. I said this a while ago, but I'm really just trying to get better about using terrain paint, especially with layering it. Because like terrain paint can really help a Sims build a lot. And it's just not even in the Sims 3, also in the Sims 4, Sims 2, it just kind of helps bring a build together. So you saw that I started by placing down some dirt terrain paint, and then I went over it with the paint from the World Adventures pack, because like I said in the previous video, for whatever reason, we never got a sand terrain to match with the sand in the world of Barnacle Bay. The sand in this world is more yellowy color, and we never really got one to really match it. There is one in World Adventures that's kind of close to it, so that's what I use today. So I'm using that terrain paint on top of it, and you know, just kind of going back over it with some more dirt to kind of make it look more like run down, kind of dirty, you know. We have a couple of grills out here that's really rusty. I don't know if I'll really use those, or maybe get like some aluminum foil, you know, and like cook your food on it that way. But you know, there's a couple of grills out here. We have some picnic tables. I also put some juice kegs and stuff. So my original plan for the lot was that I was gonna have these juice kegs, and I wanted it to kind of be like a place where college kids kind of come to, you know, when they come home and stuff like that to hang out. But then I was like, I don't know. I kept placing down objects and I kept getting different ideas, and I was like, okay, maybe this is like a full-on abandoned lot. People just come here. Some people come and never leave. Some people are here for like a night or whatever. So it's just kind of like an abandoned place. You know, there's things to do, obviously. So, you know, the original lot didn't really have much to do. It was really just like a grill, I think, and some picnic tables. That was about it. So at least now you have a water balloon fight station. We have some grills, obviously, picnic tables. There's a couple of juice kegs. I also placed down a bonfire object as well, because like, how could I not, you know, beach bonfire. As you can see, I'm going back down with some more of that dirt terrain paint, and this time around I didn't use the palm trees that are in the base game. I think I used the palm trees from the Island Paradise pack. I really just like the way these look. I'm also going back to, and I'm adding some of this dead grass down. This is from the pets pack. I was going to use the one from base game, but I quite like the color of this one. Is more like a golden kind of color, like a wilted grass color. So I'm using some of that here just to kind of have a more like overgrown kind of vibe, you know. I also really like the fence that I used, y'all. The fence is from the Island Paradise pack, and I don't know why. I never really used it before, but I quite like it. Like, I don't know, it just kind of has like a beachy vibe, you know. I thought about going back and like replacing this fence with like one of the more run down looking ones, but I don't know, I quite like this fence, so I kept it today. So you can't really place chairs around a bonfire. You can if it was like a fire pit object, but you can't place it around a bonfire because I guess you need like a certain level of space around it. So I placed a couple of these lawn chairs kind of like around the bonfire. Like if this was real life, you could definitely pull up a chair, you know, but since the game has limitations, I just kind of placed two of them kind of around, so I could imagine Sims sitting down, you know, while like there's a fire roaring or something like that. I didn't know this either, but you can recolor the rocks around the bonfire object, so I went in and I recolored them to make them more like, I guess like a sandy kind of color, you know. I also noticed too, y'all, that there's like this little section right here, you'll see it with the palm trees, and I was like, oh, this would be like a perfect little campground site. Now at first I placed down the tent object. I realized that you can't pitch the tent. Like, even if I go into live mode and I get like a sim to try to pitch it, you can't do it. So I think they only really work like that on your home lot. There is a mod where you could have the tent, you know, already placed down for you, but I didn't really want to use a mod for this. So I got rid of the tent, and then I just put a couple of sleeping bags, because at least with these, Sims can use them. I also used this clothesline object from World Adventures, and then I went in and I just used the design tool to kind of give some of the clothes some different designs and stuff. I also found these broken bottle objects. I think these are also from Island Paradise, and I wanted to use some some of those too, because, you know, it's an abandoned beach. People be out here drinking and not properly disposing of bottles and stuff. Funny enough, I also found this, like, no littering sign, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool. Because, like, I feel like some of the stuff here is, like, you know, from when it was, like, a more touristy, like, more visited kind of spot. So we have, like, the no littering sign. I also found one of the signs from Island Paradise as well. So I ended up putting that over here too, kind of like by the overgrown grass. At first, I wasn't going to put a bathroom out here, but then I realized that, like, if there's going to be, like, Sims living here, you know, you probably need a bathroom. So I used the outhouse object. Again, this is still listed as a beach, by the way. So, like, Sims won't actually live here, you know, it'll just function as a normal beach. But in terms of, like, my mind, you know, like, you probably want a bathroom out here, right? And then I also put a couple of these torch lights out here too, because I was trying to find a light source out here, because I know it's going to be dark, and I couldn't really find one that I liked. But I was like, oh, why not just use these from the base game, you know? Like, I could imagine someone bought these from the store and just kind of placed them around the lot, you know? So I placed a couple of those. I used the outhouse object, so it functions as an all-in-one bathroom, so you can shower and you can also use the bathroom at the same time. I did also place down a lifeguard stand because, like, I feel like, you know, in terms of, like, if this was like a real place, no lifeguards out here, y'all. Like, this beach is abandoned. But I was thinking about, in terms of, like, actual gameplay, that you probably would want to maybe play as a lifeguard here. So I did place down a lifeguard stand. I also found these traffic cone objects, and I was like, oh, these would be so cool. So I feel like this is supposed to represent, like, the town was, you know, closing off the beach. You're not supposed to come here, so we have, like, some traffic cones kind of blocking it off. But over time, people have obviously removed the traffic cones and kind of moved in. I feel like the town knows that people live out here, but it's one of those things where, like, as long as they don't, you know, cause problems or do anything crazy, where they don't, like, where the town doesn't have to intervene, they don't really care as much, you know? So it's still, like, technically abandoned, not really on the map per se, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, as long as y'all just do what you do and just keep it contained, we're not going to intervene. It's kind of one of those things, if that makes sense. So we have some traffic cones around here as well. I kind of went back too, and I was just trying to find as much stuff as I could to just add here to kind of clutter up the lot. So I put some rocks down. I found a couple of signs, but that's basically the whole entire lot, y'all. It didn't really take me that long to furnish this one, but I gotta say, I like how it turned out. It does kind of remind me of the Smuggler Beach from a couple of weeks ago, but I feel like this one is different enough. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I guess the next beach that I do furnish won't be rundown. It'll probably be like a really nice beach or something. We'll see. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. I am going to leave this lot link down below if you want to download it as well. Please be sure to stick around for the screenshots so you can see how the lot looks from different angles. I also did place down a couple of lounge chairs because, you know, like, how could I not, you know? But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching!